The advice I'd give the teams or the people thinking about social entrepreneurship today is basically to think about marketing as part of their model, not after the model. Because a lot of the young entrepreneurs, what they do is they come up with the idea, they know what the service they are providing, and then they find themselves stuck and not knowing how to sell it or how to market it. So what they should do is marketing should be as part of the model. So what is it that they're offering? What would make a company or a community or whoever they're targeting interested? That's very, very important. I would do that in the beginning. That's the biggest advice I would give them. And then use the different tools to make it happen. On these conferences, I mean, I'm a very strong believer that people like myself and companies generally have a social responsibility, right? So social responsibility is not only about donations, that's great, but it's also about upgrading the capability of the people in the society, improving the capability of the entrepreneurship and the people in the society. So conferences like this help a lot, because then you're getting a group of young people, you're giving them the tools to create their own enterprises, and hopefully some of them would be successful and they would have an impact on the society, would encourage more people to come in and do the same. And people with experience in different fields, marketing, supply chain, etc., should help with these startups, whether on volunteer basis or through sponsorships or mentorship, whatever it is. So that's my belief, and that's why I'm here. In my view, in this part of the world, the most important thing is encouraging young people to start up businesses, because I believe economic growth is the way to political and social development. I believe that. I believe you need to have successful companies, successful people to generate the income and to generate the jobs and to generate the cultural change to reform everything else. So companies should do one of two things. First, should encourage entrepreneurship behavior, not just social entrepreneurship, but every kind of entrepreneurship. So a lot of companies are, for example, funding some students to go and study abroad, funding some people to start up their businesses, helping young people to actually give them a project or a task, and that could end up into becoming a venture. So I think that's the most important thing. And once this happens, once you get the ball rolling on small and medium companies, because I believe this is the way to development, then you will have that it will impact the economy, which will eventually give people, so improve the GDP and the income of the population, then which will help the companies, which will then enable them to invest more into developing entrepreneurship and more companies, and the cycle is positive. Problem is, if you don't have these, so you have the big corporations and you have very little after that. You have some medium size, but you don't have a lot of small companies. So I believe helping people start up small and medium companies is the way for development. I don't believe you can just do good without being profitable, making money. I think that model just doesn't really work. So you have to be able to sustain yourself to develop sustainability for someone else, right? So sustaining yourself financially, sustaining yourself in terms of your own development, your own learning, and getting the right resources, it just doesn't work. So I don't believe they are disconnected. So I believe corporations need to play a role in the communities. Otherwise, the communities will not grow and the companies will not make money. As simple as this. And I believe social enterprises, organizations should think about resources and profitability and being sustainable financially from day one. Otherwise, they will not be able to deliver the services. So I don't think they're disconnected, and I think every time we disconnect them, we fail. So corporations who think about community or social responsibility as an afterthought always have a problem, because they lose the credibility, etc. On the other hand, organizations would start just for the sake of doing something good, but they don't think about the financial resources that they need to sustain themselves, will find themselves eventually out of resources and not able to perform the service that they want to perform.